Last year, power distributor Meralco imposed the Philippines' highest power rate hike in history, an increase of 4 peso 15 centavos per kilowatt hour. The Supreme Court temporarily stopped its implementation, but Meralco's power hike highlighted the problems of the energy sector. Among them, the possible collusion among industry players, flaws in the structure of the wholesale electricity spot market, or WESM, and gaps in regulation. Meralco attributed its rate hike to the shutdown of the Malampaya plant, but simultaneous outages of other plants also drove the prices up. Some groups accused the power sector of collusion, but Meralco's head of utility economics, Larry Fernandez, says the shutdowns of other plants were unexpected.
In terms of the impact of the Malampaya outage on power rates, you're correct. That has been anticipated. I think one difference that we had in the outage for late last year was that it occurred simultaneous with some scheduled maintenance of some large power plants. Last year was an election year. We actually had two elections, the national elections and the barangay elections.
Yes.
And during those periods, the power plants were asked not to perform their maintenance during those months, the election months, because our election system depended on reliable power. What we did not foresee was the level of forced outages or unscheduled outages that happened in the last 2 months.
Asked why power is so expensive in the Philippines, Fernandez cites data from a consultant that show the country's power rates are at par with Singapore and Western Australia. He also says power in some countries are subsidized by the government.
One, the rates in the Philippines are very similar to the rates in Singapore and Western Australia, but those three are higher than the rates in countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Taiwan, and South Korea. And according to a study, about 80% of the difference was due to subsidies that the utilities in those countries received from the national government.
So in effect, Fernandez says the Philippines depends on natural gas and coal-fired plants, but adds the Philippines needs more power-generating facilities to bring down electricity rates.
There were the major recommendation to bring down power in a significant way, the cost of power in a significant way, was for the country to add more and more efficient, additional and more efficient generating capacity into the system. So the key is for the country to incentivize the building of additional and fuel-efficient generating capacity. And that will help bring down prices in the Philippines. So to an extent, we also need as a country to look at our fuel mix and perhaps diversify our sources of fuel to also address our dependence on any kind of fuel.